Once the First World War began in August the 4th, 1914, the IRB decided that they would use the opportunity of the war to hold a revolution. People like Joseph O'Doherty were both members of the IRB and the volunteers. There's a particular case of a large consignment of ammunition being stolen from the Ebrington barracks.
My father's first association with Padraig Pearse was in his mind. The whole of the city was bubbling with animation and talk, just as certainly their family in Derry had been.
My grandfather had a business running taxis from sheds that used to be part of Watt's distillery on Abbey Street. The guns had been ordered as machine parts, labelled machine parts, and came in through Derry Quay in preparation for the raising.
The Wednesday of Holy Week, Joseph comes to Dublin, but one of his friends is Sean McDermott, who's ultimately going to be one of the signatories of the proclamation and one of the people who's executed.
And he said, we're going to strike on Sunday. Bring back some of those arms to Dublin and you stay in Derry.
On the night that they were to mobilise for the raising, 17 of them had met up in my grandfather's shed with 2 days' rations, their heaviest top coat and whatever guns and homemade bombs they could muster.
Joseph O'Doherty was to meet up at 9 o'clock on Easter Sunday morning with Seamus Kavanagh, who was the officer in command of the Irish Volunteers in Derry. He goes into Charlie Breslin's shop and he buys a copy of the Sunday Independent. And there in the Sunday Independent is the publication of the countermand.
I don't know if they would have been planning to attack the military base at Ebrington, which is a bit ironic because that's where my other grandfather had been stationed when he was sent here in the British Army.
I have some notes from my grandfather Mackerlian's diary of 1916. He actually has it Easter Monday, 24th of April, Sinn Féin revolt in Dublin. And then he writes, cuckoo cries on a leafless tree, a bad omen.
There's only one person from Derry that we know about who's actually arrested in Dublin during the rising. And of all things, a man called David Norrie. A new branch of the Apprentice Boys was to be set up in Dublin that Easter weekend. And he just gets caught up in all the hostilities. The only Derry person who's actually killed in the Easter Rising is Second Lieutenant Charles Crockett. And he was accidentally shot by his own side. As in Dublin and in most of Ireland, in Derry, the Rising was very unpopular. The Derry Journal welcomed the end of the Rising.
It broke his heart to think that after all the thing, that the whole thing had collapsed, that he hadn't really taken part in it, that he didn't get the chance to fight and to die for Ireland.